Okay, since I've had everybody on here last, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown and get a light here so you can see a little better. Alright, some things I've made some improvements on. And I still haven't bought a new piece right here. The intake right there, it's a little crappy in there, so still trying to figure out when I'm going to replace it, and need an air box cover. Replace it, or I'll create one for myself. That'll work, but anyways, so I got this piece of plastic off of eBay. It's for a 300 four-wheel drive. Not that big a deal, pretty much fits all the same stuff. A little beat up, little decal left, but hey, that's okay, so it works. Okay, so also another improvement I've made is I added some new lights. So these new lights on here sort of resemble a little bit of the ones that were on there and were extremely rednecked in there. They were junk. I kept them, they do work still, but none of it could be used because the plugs were cut. So they had a cigarette lighter tied into this. So I cut the back of that out, stuck my switch in there, and wired it back along through here. Can't see it up inside there. I've hidden it and zip tied it to the frame. You can see right here, that's the fuse, and up here is my relay. Got it zip tied for now. I'll put a screw in it or bolt to hold it, and it's tied to my battery. And yes, that is the world's smallest battery. And you see the holder for it, and it's maybe half that size. So the idea is eventually to get a little bit bigger one. Alright, so next move is I'll show you what the lights look like. I won't need this light to show you, but I don't have to have the key turned for it to work, so I'm relying off that switch. So here we go. You see the switch is lit and my lights are on. I mean, it looks just like it's daylight outside. Those lights work extremely well. I actually got them off of eBay. I'll turn those off so I don't run my battery dead. I got those off of eBay. Let me see here. And it is I think it's Nightlight is the company. There we go. So you can see it a little bit. Got them off eBay. Maybe 20 bucks. Didn't pay much for them. They work versus me tearing all the plastic off and tracing wires and trying to figure out what they did. And I know when I tried to use the originals, they didn't work worth a crap because they bypassed them so long ago. So I need lights to be able to get deer out of the woods, wood, things like that. So it's an improvement. Still need to do some figuring out. Still needing to get some tires. As you can see, these are junk and they're flat as crap, so no good. Just something to be aware of. You get something like this off Facebook Marketplace, you're gonna get something a little beat up. We realize that. I mean, I knew it going in. I'm actually looking at another four-wheeler, so once I get done with this one, my kids, my girls are planning on riding it around, stuff like that. Snowing outside, now I got them some lights. I really think this is going to turn out to be a pretty decent little four-wheeler. Still having some issues with this Articat in terms of getting it into neutral a lot of times. It's a pain. Still understanding that, trying to adjust the linkage, things along with the shifter cable, trying to get it better. I think it's just binding is what's causing the issue, and it's set outside, so it's really not its fault in particular. But when you leave something outside, you're leaving it outside to the elements, and what's happening there is you know, it's going to freeze up and it's going to have a lot of problems. But like I said, didn't pay a lot for it, so pretty tickled to death with what I've got right now. That's my phone and some sockets. But yeah, I'm going to have to figure out that. And I'm going to have to figure out a really good way of mounting that to it. I've just found an old piece of a light fixture and jammed it in behind it. That way it's got something to keep things out of it. Don't want anything to get in there when I'm not in there working. You know, I've got some other pieces and parts to go on it. But overall, so far, once again, still pretty happy with the purchase. It's actually looking sharp now. Once I get the tires and wheels on it, of course, I'll make another video.